Greetings everyone, Devar with Carib Sunsations here, back with another recipe. Actually, I can't really call this one a recipe. This one is more of a preparation video. What we're going to do is we're going to take these dried chickpeas and then we're going to soak them overnight. I'm going to show you two ways to soak them actually. You can soak them overnight or you can do a quick soak. And we're going to take our pressure cooker here. It's a basic pressure cooker. I call it my not so Instapot. We're going to take this and we're going to prepare the chickpeas relatively quickly so we can add it to our soups, stews, and whatever it is you're trying to do. I can't wait to show you. Let's go. Let's begin by soaking our chickpeas. Here I have a 32-ounce glass jar filled. I'm going to pour this into a bowl and then fill it with water. Keep in mind that there is a 1-to-4 ratio with the dried chickpeas being 1 and the water being 4. We recommend 6 to 8 hours of soaks time if you want to do the overnight method. After the time elapses, the chickpeas should have more than doubled in size. If you're short on time and need an alternative to the overnight soaking method, then here's a great solution. Fill the pot with water and bring it to a boil. Add the chickpeas, allow it to cook for 5 minutes, then turn off the stove and cover the pot. After 1 hour, your chickpeas should be ready to use. Next, we are going to drain and rinse the chickpeas. On the right, I have the overnight method, and on the left, I have the quick method mentioned earlier. I rinse the chickpeas thoroughly and remove any chickpeas that are discolored, have holes in them, or any other abnormalities. I'm sure some people don't take the time out to do this, but I would much rather discard these and others like them if I'm the one cooking. When you go out to eat to a restaurant, you can only hope that they do this. I've tried many brands of chickpeas and found ones like this in all of them. Some batches are better than others, but you can never be too sure. Sometimes when I do the initial soak of the chickpeas, I've discovered weevils that have been living inside the chickpea bag. Prior to purchasing, I would examine the dried chickpea bag thoroughly to try and avoid this as much as possible. Once I'm finished, then I begin to transfer the chickpeas into the pressure cooker cup by cup. Some people say that this process isn't necessary, but I do this just in case I may have missed a bad chickpea during the initial rinse. Now I add my spring water and cover to about 1 inch above the chickpeas. At this point, you can either cook the chickpeas as is, or you can add some seasoning prior to cooking. I have added onions, garlic, and Himalayan salt. Now we are ready to cook. Place the pressure cooker on the stove and set the temperature to the highest setting. As the temperature rises and the pressure is building inside of the cooker, adjust the temperature to where you hear a steady, high whistle. This may vary depending on the type of stove you have, but just listen for a moment so you understand exactly what I'm referring to. Once I find the right heat setting, I cook for about 20 to 30 minutes, then turn off the stove and allow the temperature to drop naturally. I check the pressure level of the cooker by pulling up on the valve cover. As you can see, there is still a lot of pressure built up inside the cooker and it needs more time to cool down. Pay attention to the red safety plug to the right of your screen. As I pull the valve cover up, this plug will drop down once the cooker has reached a safe temperature to open. If you see the plug drop but you're still not sure if you are ready to open the pressure cooker, then simply place the cooker in the sink and run cold water over it until you're ready to open. This should take no longer than 1 minute. Realistically though, it's unnecessary. The more you get used to cooking with a pressure cooker, the more confident you will be in knowing when it's safe for the pressure cooker to be opened. Now you are ready to open the cooker. At this point, your chickpeas should be very soft and ready to add to recipes that do not require a sweet component such as sugar, agave, or maple syrup. Remember, we added onions and garlic prior to pressure cooking the chickpeas. You can save the water and use as a base for soups, hummus, stews, and other cooked foods. If you're not sure what to do with it at this moment, you do have the option of saving it. Simply strain out the chickpea water and freeze it like we did in the aquafaba video. I'll leave a link here. But what I want to do now is take you through the process. What I did was drain the chickpeas and collect the chickpea water in a pot. After that, we ran it through a filter and collected it in this mason jar. Then after that, we preserved the chickpea liquid by putting it in ice trays. There are many things that you can do with this liquid, but for the sake of time, I do not want to get too far off course. Just know that this liquid can be applied as a replacement to a lot of animal-based ingredients. Now that we have separated the cooked chickpeas from the chickpea water, we will now pour the chickpeas into the strainer and let it dry for about 5 minutes. This will ensure that the chickpeas cool down more and release any excess moisture. And now you are in business. The end result is a chickpea texture that lends itself well to any recipe that calls for Caribbean or Indian style curry, salads, soups, stews, hummus, and much more. There are many people out there that do not like chickpeas because they attempted to cook it and the texture was not soft enough. This is where the pressure cooker will save you a lot of time and give you that chickpea texture that you would find in West Indian restaurants. If the chickpeas are not cooked thoroughly, the texture will be moist on the outside and dry and chalky on the inside. However, if you follow the steps outlined in this video, then you will not have that problem. No more chalky chickpea curry that is flavor-filled on the outside, yet reminds you of beach sand on the inside. Time to level up. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Now, let's take a closer look at this pressure cooker that I have. Remember guys, read the instructions on these. These things can be very dangerous if not used properly. 4.2 quarts is the capacity of this. That does not mean that you can cook 4.2 quarts worth of food in it. That just means that's how much it can hold. I usually fill it maybe half of the way and then cook whatever contents I'm cooking in there with this. It's not that big. There are bigger ones out there that you can get. Also, try to check this rubber gasket to make sure there's no breaks in it or anything like that. This will cause it to leak. Some of them do leak on their own and you have to be very careful. Adjust your fire as well. Make sure that you don't have this thing whistling like crazy. Don't put it on high and just leave it and think that it's going to cook on its own. You have to adjust the fire to where you have a nice hiss sound going. A little high-pitched whistle, but it shouldn't be overpowering where you have smoke going everywhere. That's very dangerous. Other than that, you should be good with this. This is a basic pressure cooker. Like I said, you have your indicator right here. This little red knob, when there's pressure in there, this little red button pops out and then it goes back in when the contents are ready to be open again, like how I showed you in the video. But I can't stress enough, guys, you hear some stories out there with people who have different accidents with pressure cookers, and I just think that they're using it wrong. Pay attention to what you have, and you cannot go wrong by underfilling it. You don't have to fill it up all the way. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, do me a favor and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can get updates on our latest videos. Peace and love, and we'll catch you next time. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Is there glare on my glasses?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. I see green from the lighting.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. Devon, what do you think of that?
That was good. Good. Turn sideways for me? No, turn your head sideways. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
again. Greetings everyone, Devar. You'll get the chickpeas done in a relatively short time and then you'll be...